Ugh, what is up, homies? What a workout. Oh, man. I have not sweat like I sweat today in a minute. It was a good burn. Some really good conditioning that I've been not only missing, but just, quite frankly, missing out on. You know, this is... Oh, I can barely breathe. I was rushing through the workout today because I got work in 30 minutes. And I just had to go. And today was especially scary. You know, the rear delt is technically still injured. It's on the way to recovery. It's mostly just sore now. Just kind of rubbing it out until it feels better kind of shit. What is unfortunate about this is that, you know, when you mix clean and jerk and bench on the same day, it gets especially hairy. You know, you really have no idea where your body's going to be at or how in tune it's going to be with the effort that you want to be putting in on that day. And it was not perfect by any means today, but I got to put in some real good efforts, you know, and not just for the sake of hitting a heavy weight, no, but for the sake of just like really enjoying every second of every single rep, you know, just allowing the hype to just kind of carry me. Because don't get me wrong, got a little bit of new pre-workout today, literally called Daddy Stim, insane name, but it did its job, and it definitely made me feel like I was losing it. I was profusely sweating by the time I was done with my barbell routine, you know, and that's when I know I'm going to put in that good effort, and that's when the energy is moving. For the most part, clean and jerks, I mentioned this last time, but I wanted to step away from just the comfortable heavy weights to doing some really good set volume, you know, that good conditioning that gets my confidence back up in my mind-muscle connection, you know, knowing that I can really grind out some good weights for not just a single rep. Because it's just, I've been so back and forth with the program because of I figured out my knee. There's no more pain there, which is great. But then, you know, every time you make a giant step up, sometimes there's a bit of a kickback in some other part of your body. And that just ended up being my rear delt. It was fully my fault because I switched to thumb's length and immediately thought that I could lift the same weight I'd been lifting. That was a lie, but we're going to get into that in a minute. The clean and jerks were really fun. The process of today, both on clean and jerk and the bench, was not for like some crazy accessory, like complex movement to test my core and my technique. That's already pretty conditioned right now. So I did my main warm-ups, which is just the bar, one plate, a plate in the 25, and 2 plates. Those are my main warm-ups on my bench and my clean and jerk. On my bench, if I had been feeling more confident, maybe next time I'll go up to 255 for one of my warm-up reps before I get into the working sets. Because I can just do more on my bench consistently than my clean and jerk. But rear delt's scared right now, so I didn't want to rush it. So the idea is after my main warm-up weights that I don't need to do small jumps between, because they're just that light. They're just to get me going. After that, 10-pound jumps only. You know, only putting on a 5 or a 10 on each side until I got to the heavier weights. And oh boy, that honestly felt so nice, because I'm so used to doing a bunch of warm-up sets and then one, decently heavy triple for like my volume week on Olympic lifting, for example. And this experience has honestly made me rethink, kind of getting away from purely triples and doubles before doing my heavyweights and looking to just increase the overall set volume, because it was a good burn and it was really fun to just take it weight by weight and then being able to like dictate every single time whether or not I wanted to continue, you know, because it's kind of the same idea with my comfortable top heavy sets, but it's based off of the effort from volume rather than maximum intensity. And you still get the same kind of effort. It's just a different kind of grind, you know? And, you know, again, the form was not perfect. My shoulder on my left, again, is still very sore, very tired from I went really heavy this week, and it's my first week back in since it got strained, and it's just not going to be as strong until it's fully recovered. That's just inevitable. So I need days like today, weeks like this week, where I just take it easy a little bit and feel out every single lift for what it can do. And, oh man, it was really fun to do that kind of volume. Because like I said, this normally it would be like triples or just one top triple. And just doing like low recovery time in between sets and then just jumping right back into it, doing really good effort reps for just singles, but just consistently flowing through, just going as hard as I can. Felt really fun. You know, I have no idea what I'm going to change or what I'm going to keep the same in the program when I get better, but it's something to think about. It's exciting. I ended up just going to 275 today. I really, again, did not want to push it too hard until maybe next week, because what I've learned is that the snatch is really the only thing actually majorly affected by my shoulder right now. The clean and jerk is definitely affected, and every other lift is definitely affected other than the back squat, but not to the extent of the snatch. The snatch was easily like the only lift where I was like, okay, it's got to be a full deload until it's fully better. You know, everything else I could mess around a little bit with some heavier weights. So getting up to 275 again felt really good, especially adding in all those extra sets in between. Because between 135 to 175, or 135 to 275, sorry, I did 8 sets, which was a lot more than I usually do. I usually, on a, like if I were doing a triples week, going to like, even at my heaviest, going to 235, at most, I'm going to do like 5 sets, something like that. Just doing the pretty decently big jumps, you know, about 20 pounds in between each set after hitting my warm-ups. And man, it is just going. It feels really good to have that confidence in my technique and my form back, you know, even though, again, the split jerk honestly wasn't even great today. It just was nice to be able to push it a little bit harder than I'm used to, you know, rather than banking it all on one top heavyweight, banking it on the accumulation of all the weights throughout the entire workout. Bench felt insanely good as well. And when I say insanely good, I mean, it's that step I wanted to feel, that step of recovery. I am nowhere near feeling evened out on my bench, that's for sure. It's more so just that bit of like, okay, we can make a step now. You know, we can see what's next on the agenda when I get back into the sessions next week. Because same thing, I just wanted to focus on volume, so I would have started with sets of 5 on the normal program. So after 225, just going up by 10 pounds every single set, doing sets of 5 all the way, just to get that really good consistency through and through. And it didn't feel even, and not because it was uneven, but literally just because my mind-muscle connection isn't fully back yet. My left rear delt is still injured. I'm going to say it over and over, and that's just how it is. So I have to accept that, but the video says it all. My homies' opinions say it all. It was even, and that is incredible to have a consistent bench technique while my shoulder's technically injured and not stable. That's wonderful. I ended up working to 285, which I was really surprised by. I was convinced I was going to maybe hit 275, especially because, like, most of the sets I took maybe like 30 seconds, like about a minute rest in between, just like really jumping right back into it to get that good grind the way I wanted to. And man, it was going. I haven't felt pumped like that in a minute. It's really, really good to feel like not needing to hit any sort of weight, just wanting to feel the conditioning of each weight itself. I'm going to keep saying it. I think the biggest thing is, like, you know, I get this comment so much, but it's just people are always asking me, why don't I just quit benching? Why don't I just never do it again? Because it's not good for Olympic lifting, I promise you that. The thumb's length bench grip, rather than the narrow grip I was doing before, is better for bench, but it's actually worse for Olympic lifting, as we have found out over the past couple weeks. It puts a lot more strain on certain parts of my shoulder that can affect snatches and clean and jerks. And the easy way out is to say, it doesn't mix with the sport well. There's no actual point in doing it. I'm just going to get rid of it. Who cares? I care, damn it. I give it my heart and soul. I care so much. Not because I just want to ego lift and bench just to bench. I genuinely love the lift. I tell you guys all the time, my workouts are not based off of what is the most efficient. It's not based off what mixes the best together, what correlates exactly 1-to-1 with one another. I purely lift for the sake of the lifts that I feel passionate for, you know? I don't Olympic lift because I want to be a technical core-based lifter. I Olympic lift because I love Olympic lifting. If I didn't like it that much and I just did it because it made me work a little extra hard, it made me a bit more stressed in the mobility area, then I wouldn't do it. I'd just squat and bench forever. But I love them all. I know that there are a lot to do in a matter of 1 week at a time, doing 2 squat days, 2 bench days, snatches and clean and jerks every single day. I know it's a lot. That's the point. I love them all. So why am I going to get rid of them just because it's tough to mix them all together into one solid program? It makes me twice as passionate in wanting to do it. Whenever I have people ask me, why don't I quit doing bench? It gets me so excited because I know from my experience that you can do both. It's just whether or not you want to be patient and be smart and listen to your body with it. You know, the first time I ever went through this was the first year I ever started Olympic lifting. That was back when my bench was actually wider than thumb's length, so a lot more stress on my rear delt, just my rotator cuff in general. And I was doing some of the workouts. I would do clean and jerk, bench press, then back squat, all in the same day. How stupid is that? But that's what I had to do to learn. And all those mixed together made my shoulders really messed up. It was just not any injuries somehow, but constantly strained and hurt, you know, just feeling pain all the time. And literally it is as simple as this. You can do any workout you want. If you are passionate enough about it, you can do any program, any lifts you want, whenever you want. But you have to take the step of humbling yourself and going backward for a short-term period until everything is aligned with one another, you know? My bench didn't just get better. I dropped my max bench down 50 pounds when I first felt that pain. 50 pounds. I kept my Olympic lifting where it was at. I kept my squats where they were at because they were fine. It was just the bench causing issues. I dropped it 50 pounds, even though if I stopped Olympic lifting that day and then came in the next week, I would have been able to bench my PR. I was that prepped, but I still dropped it 50 pounds because I wasn't ready to bench PR with Olympic lifting. Because it's not just one lift on their own individually. They each have their own importance. And they have to all align with each other. This is why I don't do individual max outs. I base my highest peak weeks with the whole week, you know, in its entirety. It's not just, oh, I hit this one top set of snatches, clean and jerks, bench, back squat. It wasn't just one set. It was the entire week. I hit my heaviest back squat after doing a recovery snatch day in the middle of my peak week. That's what my peak and my maxes are, you know? And of course, I'm not going to get that technical. It's not that big a deal, but that's how I feel about it. That's the importance I put behind those lifts because I love them so much and I don't want to just get rid of them because it's easier, you know? Right now, I'm in that middle area where I'm recovering. I'm definitely on the way up. I'm still sore as hell. I'll tell you that. I'm not healed. I'm still injured, but I can put up enough weight to where I can put in solid conditioning efforts and slowly make my way back to hitting an equilibrium where all of my lifts realign with one another, you know? I don't have to stop. I just need to slow down before I can pick it back up again, you know? So, I don't know how long it's going to be. It could be weeks, it could be months. I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep doing it the best I can because today I put in 100% and I got that maximum passion flowing. There's going to be a time where everything finally shifts, where you feel that setup hit right where you want it to. And the combination of me fixing my bench technique, my feet and my grip, and my shoulders aligning, getting more stability from my band work, just everything is adding on top of each other until the point where at some hopefully soon time, I'm going to come in and I'm not only going to snatch at my heaviest, but I'm also going to bench at my heaviest like I've always done. Because that's what I'm capable of. Not because I believe or I hope that it's going to be like that, because I know that I am capable of that. And it's purely based off of whether or not I want it that bad. And you can hear it in my voice. I want it. I got to go to work, but really appreciate you guys hearing me go about physically. Oh man, I was hyped. And even though I was hyped, that's mental. Physically, I was still feeling a solid, we can give it an 8.8. No, 8.65. I want to be a little real. The clean and jerks were definitely hefty. On a better day, 295 should have flown. But that's just where I'm at, you know? Same thing on bench, 295, 305 could have definitely gone on a different day, but that's not today. So I'm just there's no program right now. I am just going to keep doing my lifts based off high set volume with good sets and reps until I feel perfectly aligned with how I want to be lifting. Doesn't matter how much I lift, doesn't matter how heavy I go per day. It's just whatever feels comfortable, whatever feels confident, and then leaving it at that. It's going to make everything so much easier when everything finally recovers. Comes back to that balance point, that standard that I uphold myself to. And I'm going to be able to do whatever the hell I want. And that is what I am excited for the most. Mentally, easily got to give it a 9.55. Really good day. Really good. I don't even have to explain it. You hear why. I'm passionate. I'm excited. The fact that bench moved the way it did today and snatches couldn't do shit yesterday, we're on the way up. It's going to get better. Snatches, unfortunately, got hit with hitting the knees on this one. My snatch is a bit crippled at the moment, but it'll move back up. And the more that my bench gets confident, the more it works my rear delt to where it gets a little bit better every day. So if my bench is consistent, then that will recover my rear delt faster. If I keep taking my rest and my stretches the way I need to, we will get there at some point. But regardless, I feel great, and I'm so excited. So tomorrow's rest day. Thankfully, I definitely need it. I'm excited to get back on a decent, constant conditioning program for a little bit, to where I'm going to keep doing this kind of volume split next week since I only started today. And then I'll do a full week of that. And if I'm not recovered at that point, I'll just keep doing that. And then the next week I'll go to my sets of 3 on power lifts, sets of 2, or I don't even know. I'll figure it out. I'm going to get there when I get there. But either way, loving it. Every single step. I love you guys. I'll be back day after tomorrow for a full snatch day. See you later. Love you. Bye.